Well, hey, mamas, does your teen need help with their study skills? Does your teen need help with their test taking strategies? And maybe you're thinking about the ACT and the SAT. If you're thinking about those things, you're worried about any of those things, you know your child needs some help, then be sure to stick around. And even better, be sure to sign up for Love to Learn 3 happening right now. I have brought together 40 amazing experts who are parent coaches, who are educators, who work with teens directly, like I do, and who help their mamas, their families. And we're here to help you for free. So go to the description of the link and check out the interviews. Today, I want to tell you about a couple of speakers who are fellow tutors who are going to help you help your child with test taking specifically. So, their names, Dr. Kelly Friedel and Shahar Link. Now, Kelly and I, we talked about test anxiety. So I'd love to know if you think your child does have test anxiety. And I got to tell you, I do a workshop on test taking and test taking strategies and anxiety. So it was a lot of fun to compare what I teach and kind of learn even more. Because I got to tell you, it was fascinating to learn from Dr. Kelly that there's a difference between anxiety about a certain test and test anxiety that she calls global, like for every single test. And I think she makes an awesome point because if your child doesn't know study skills, doesn't actually know how to study, isn't prepared for that test, of course, he or she's going to be worried, going to be anxious about that test. I think all of us can say that if we didn't prepare, we don't feel ready, yeah, we're going to be anxious. We're going to be stressed. We're going to be worried. Dr. Kelly also talks about what anxiety looks like in our interview. So you know, okay, is this really happening? And then we also talk about, well, what else could it be? And we wrap up our interview talking about the differences between grades and test scores. Okay. So she had some really interesting points about grades being inflated, kind of how COVID's done that, and then just, unfortunately, good or bad, especially in public school. And I imagine this happens in private school and all sorts of different schooling. But, grades can be kind of subjective, whereas a test score doesn't lie. Your child gets the score he or she gets, and no one can really change that. So definitely lots of awesome things to learn about test taking anxiety. And I can tell you, the only way you can listen to this interview is if you sign up for free now. Okay, so definitely encourage you to do that. There are 40 interviews. We're already halfway through the event. So some interviews you've missed live, but you can grab a VIP pass and watch those interviews whenever you want, as many times as you want, and in the order that you want to watch them in. Okay. So before I tell you about Shahar's interview, I want to say thanks for watching here, mamas. Thanks for being here on Facebook with me. Thanks for watching on YouTube. I'm Jessica Coulter, the CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. I'm also the Love to Learn 3 Summit hostess. So you will be seeing a lot of me in the interviews. I'm also happy to say I'm hosting a free webinar the last day of the event as my interview called 3 Signs Your Teen Doesn't Know How to Learn. So if you're curious, does my teen actually know how to study? Does my teen actually know how to learn? You're going to want to come to that free webinar because I got to tell you, test taking strategies and test anxiety and study skills, they're all really, really closely related. Now, strategies your teen needs when sitting down to take a test, a little different than study skills sitting at home for a study session, but how your teen studies is going to make a big difference into how your teen does on that test. And the applications when it comes to learning style, very, very important for both. Now, I would tell you it also matters when it comes to ACT, SAT. Doesn't matter, again, test-taking strategies. Doesn't matter for talking study skills. They matter for the ACT, the SAT, really any standardized test. Now, with Shahar, I'm so happy to say, if you have questions about this new digital SAT, Shahar and I talked about that. We also talked about when does your child actually submit those scores and when should he or she not? Okay, so mamas, if you're trying to figure this whole test optional, test blind thing figured out, we talked about that, all right? It's changing a lot depending on the school your child has his or her eye on. And it also really just depends on your child's scores. Okay, like are they really good? They're really high? Are they kind of in a line with your child's grades? Like where does all that fit? Shahar's got the answers. And we also talk about how many times to take the ACT, the SAT. Okay. I love tutoring the ACT sections, especially the reading and writing. And Jahar does all of it, has lots of amazing people that work with him, for him. But do you know there's this thing called like a super score? Okay. There's also this thing called, your child sends the score to the schools, but who really knows how many times your child has taken it? Okay. So if you want all the nitty gritties, then you're going to want to listen to Shahar's interview. And again, you got to do that by signing up for Love to Learn 3. And I got to tell you, both Dr. Kelly and Shahar, they're giving away some awesome gifts. And I can tell you they also give away some extra gifts if you upgrade to the gold VIP pass. So you're going to want to check those out when you sign up below. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the Ace Cookie Tutoring channel. Follow the Ace Cookie Tutoring Facebook business page, because this is only reason number 6 why to sign up for Love to Learn 3. There's more reasons to sign up than I could possibly ever get to here in videos. And there are so many things waiting here for you on the channel, on the page. And I'll also share during my webinar about study skills, about learning, about helping your teen love school, all forms of learning. So thanks for being here. Remember, go to the link, provide your name and email so you can sign up for free. Have a good night, mamas. See you at Love to Learn 3 and hopefully the webinar.